A couple of days ago, I installed a roof rack onto my car. Now, this is a car, an older 3-door, which was never designed for a rack, not the country. But I devised a way to install a roof rack. Now, I want to highlight the tools that I use. There are 3 tools which were not super familiar, and one which was brand new to me. I ordered it for this installation. Please do not install a roof rack onto your car in the manner that I've done, okay? Do not do this. Don't do it, but do appreciate the tools, the technique, the savoir-faire, the know-how, but don't do it. I started by carefully measuring and marking where the rack would go, and then first tool is the spring-loaded center punch. I'm certain most people are familiar with this, and I'm certain everybody understands how it works. But when I first got my hands on this, I had to take it apart, and then to try to understand, and then I had to do a bit of internet research because I couldn't figure out how, by applying pressure in one direction, the tip kicks back down. Okay, sure, springs, a couple of little parts, but what I thought was a manufacturing defect inside the unit was actually what gave it a kick. At first I thought, was it black magic? Did they put spicy peppers? And it makes that little pit that you need to center your drill bit. The spring-loaded center punch. Then there's the step drill bit, or the step bit. You make a hole about the size of the smallest step, and then you just push this in. As it turns, it cuts, it leans, and it'll bump down to the next size. Just make sure that you don't exceed the depth that you want, because the depth that you want is also the size that you'd want. In my case, I put some masking tape so I wouldn't over drill, make a hole that was a bit too big. We all know, right, what a rivet is. You have a sleeve, you've got a head on it, and pretty much a steel nail. And you would put this in this, because this is a very, very, very old system. This is ancient. Belonged to my dad. Actually, my great-grandmother invented rivets. And then you put this inside a hole here. She invented the holes. And then as you squeeze, it makes faces. Ah, there we go. So what you're left with is a fastener. So you could fasten the metal plates one on another, and it has a pretty nice finish to it. This is la pièce de résistance, which is French for pièce de résistance, but without the. This is the Rivet gun, Rivnutter. It uses to compress these riv nuts or blind nuts. They're rivets with an internal thread. This screws in, okay? So you find, usually you get an entire kit. I've got an entire kit. And you find the right stem for the type of riv nut you're using. And you use the band. It has a key on it to tighten it counterclockwise. The collar goes in counterclockwise, Bob. Goes in counterclockwise. You just press down on it to relieve some pressure. And then clockwise, you screw on your riv nut. And then you put that in your hole, and then you squeeze it, and this section here will mushroom out. To remove the gun, squeeze the handle slightly to release some pressure. Unscrew. and you're ready to thread in the appropriate fastener. That's all there is to it. So to recap, I measured and marked, center punched, drilled my pilot holes, reamed those out to the correct diameter, installed the rivet nut, put some caulking to make it all watertight, and then installed my roof rack. But don't do this.